What is up, everybody? This is John with Archer Fish. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing. Hit the bell notifications so you know when I drop these videos, so you're up to date on fishing reports or information or anything. I really do appreciate you guys following along, liking, subscribing, comment, all that good stuff. I really do appreciate the support, especially now since I have yet to be able to fish. A lot of stuff going on, trying to figure it out. I am in Colorado at the moment. Not a lot of good fishing going on right now. And I will be fishing soon. There's going to be a complete revamp to the channel. It's going to be a lot more content, fishing content, catching content, lots of different species of fish and different styles of fishing, a lot of different footage. It's all coming very, very soon. So please stay tuned to this channel because it is coming and it's going to be fantastic. This is going to be a great year for fishing for me. Again, you know, last year for about 6 months, I was out of commission, maybe 4 months because of my shoulders. I wasn't able to do a lot of the fishing that I wanted to do, but it's all changing this year, and I'm just going to be hitting it really hard. So thank you guys for watching. And if you do like this content, please subscribe. You know, this video, I've been very reluctant to make another video like this just because I feel like everything has been said. But this is regarding the catch and release. Again, if you are a person who you go out from time to time and your whole goal is to catch a couple of trout or, you know, catch a couple of, you know, sunfish or carp even, or catfish or whatever it is, and you're going to take them home and eat them, you know, that's fine. I got no problem with that, you know. But if you are an angler and you're out there all the time, weekly, daily in some cases, and you're advocating on social media for keeping fish, I feel like it is irresponsible. And I'll say it again. I feel like that is irresponsible on social media. If you're keeping fish, maybe just don't show it in your video. Maybe don't show a deck full of striper. I know that's your sort of clickbait to get people to watch, you know, a whole deck full of striper. But what I'm suggesting, and this is based on new information, you can go back through my old videos and you can see all of this stuff. I'm really trying to understand this whole debate about bass and the big bass fishery being affected by striper. And I've still yet to see any information, any evidence, any data that supports all of these guys' claim that the striper affected the big bass fishery. You know, correlation and causation, all that stuff. I mean, there's just no linkage to it. You know, they may obviously affected by eating some of the same bait and all that stuff. I'm not going to get into the whole debate about the striper and where they feed throughout the year and where bass feed and what the big bass feed on, the trout plants, the water fluctuations. I've already done that to death. What I am going to talk about is the irresponsibility of endorsing keeping fish on social media for this one specific purpose. And this is new that I've not yet talked about, but it's something that came up recently. Apparently at the Castaic Lagoon, a lot of people were fishing out there the last few weeks. You know, probably because too much wind at the big lake, too much debris, harder to catch fish at the big lake, whatever it is. So more people have gone down to the lagoon. It's a little bit easier to access. And what ended up happening was a lot of people were catching these winter bass from down deep, 30 to 40 feet. And, you know, when you bring them up, the air bladder, you know, fills up and it doesn't have time to, you know, purge. And you get a floater and you have to fizz that bass. As I showed you in this video here from Casitas, it happened to me and I had to fizz them. I did not have one of the fizzing needles, and I think everybody should have a fizzing needle. I think someone posted that, you know, on a forum, and they were, you know, yeah, if you're a bass fisherman and you're out there fishing all the time and you believe in catch and release, you absolutely should have a fizzer on your boat. You know, it has not happened to me in a very, very long time, so it just kind of slipped my mind. But it happened to me at Casitas, and I used a very sharp fish hook in order to fizz it, and it worked perfectly. And there's a lot of YouTubes if you do need to fizz your bass on how to do it. So check one of those YouTube videos out on how to fizz your bass, because it's not that hard and you save the fish's life, and that's super cool. So anyway, so a lot of these fish that were being caught were floating to the surface. People were saying that there were a ton. So yeah, you want to encourage responsible angling and responsible fishing. But the other thing that sort of it just sort of caught my attention was the people that were, I say, complaining that people were going home with stringers full of bass, and like I said before in these videos, I've seen it at the big lake. I've seen people, I've seen like the carcasses of 5 and 6 pound bass at the lake, like they clean them right there. This is my whole point about catch and release and being responsible is, sure, you're encouraging them to take striper because you think it affects the bass lake, okay, the bass fishery. But what you're not telling, what you don't know or don't understand, or maybe you are not quite cognizant of, is people are coming to these lakes and they're keeping everything. And I think that was my whole point, is like, if you're on social media, you make videos, you're posting pictures, and you've got, handfuls of bass or striper out on the deck, and you're showing people how to catch them and where you caught them. And then, you're casting a huge net, and people are coming to that lake, and they're keeping everything. They're keeping bass, they're keeping all the crappie they catch, they're keeping carp, they're keeping catfish, sunfish, whatever. And most bass anglers do not keep bass, especially at some of these, these lakes don't need pond management. So if you're in the South or the Midwest and, it's a little pond, and you have to take some of the smaller fish out, even though, like I said before, genetically, you can't really tell the age of a fish by the size. But if you're doing pond management and you're taking out the smaller bass, I get it. But out of these big lakes in Southern California, it doesn't make any sense. There's just no way to tell if you're helping or just killing bass. So, especially at something like the lagoon, where it's kind of a smaller, body of water, that was my whole point with being responsible with the catch and release is, you're casting a wide net, and you're showing people how to catch these fish, whether it's bass or striper. And if you're not encouraging catch and release, there's a lot of people out there that are going to keep everything, whether you like it or not. And so these people are, upset about people catching bass, and it sucks, man. I can't stand it. But that's exactly why I preach catch and release as a blanket sort of thing, because there are some people you can't convince them a striper, is okay to take home, but a bass isn't. A lot of people, they're like, it's a fish. I'll take the striper, I'll take the bass, I'll take the trout, I'll take anything, because that's kind of what they do. And again, I don't begrudge people keeping a fish if they're doing it legally and ethically. Some people, like I said, that's why they fish in the first place, is to keep it. I used to do it back in the day. So I get that and I understand it. And it's okay as long as you're doing it legally and ethically. My whole point is, if you got a social media platform, you got thousands of views, or you got an Instagram account and you get hundreds of views or whatever, and you're endorsing keeping any fish, I just think it's irresponsible because of the reach of social media. Not irresponsible as the individual if you wanted to just keep your limit. Like I said, I'm fine with that. I don't do it. I just have more respect for the animal, the fish, and why I go out there and do it in the first place. But like I said, if you're doing it legally and ethically, fine. Just do it off camera, because when you do it on camera, you're just endorsing, the first time fishermen, or the guys that are new to the area, or guys new to fishing in general. During the pandemic, a lot of new people came to fishing as a sport and as a hobby, and they're looking out there for information. They're looking at YouTube. They want to see kind of what everybody's doing. And it's always better to be a positive influence, to these newer anglers and people that are new to the sport. Not everybody is ethical and all that stuff. And some people are just kind of looking for guidance, and you want to be a positive influence with that guidance. And, and that's what I try to do with the channel. And that's what I try to do with these debates about the striper versus bass, is be a positive influence, because you never know who you're reaching out there. And, if people are new to the sport, they're kind of looking for guidance as to what do other people do? Do other people catch bass and keep them here? If you come from the South or the Midwest, where, keeping bass is kind of normal, and it's like you come out to California for the first time and you kind of want to see what everyone's doing. And most people, they want to be a part of the fishing community. They want to share information, share tips, share reports, and they all kind of want to share in our passion that we all love. And so, if they're looking to kind of be a part of this fishing community, and again, a lot of my subscribers are like this, super cool, super, you know, into the sport and into talking about it, and you know, they comment, and you know, I've been talking to a lot of these guys for many years, made some cool new friends, gone fishing with some of them, and it's like they want to be a part of this thing, and I feel like it's a responsibility of some of the more seasoned anglers there and some of the older guys that have been coming there forever to kind of put that, you know, a good foot forward as far as like, yeah, it's all about catch and release, you know, and so other anglers, you know, little kids can catch these fish, or you know, the fish can get bigger or whatever it is. So yeah, that's it. I just because of the recent activity at the lagoon and fish being kept and caught, you know, stringers full of bass, which it breaks any bass angler's heart to see. That is what happens, you know, if you are showing this stuff on social media, how to catch these fish, or showing all these fish you caught and all that stuff. You know, the striper, you know, can be a little tougher to catch this time of year. And people still want to fish and still want to keep stuff, and you know, they're going to keep what they can. And if they can't fish the big lake, maybe they go down to the lagoon, and if all they're catching is largemouth, you know. So anyway, that is it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.